and it really, really works because I really, really did it.
Hello, Blake Oliver here, and this is Gearing Up, a series by Relay. Relay is business banking designed for accountants and their clients. Just like me, they're obsessed with making firms more effective and efficient. So in each episode, I talk to real accountants and bookkeepers about one challenge they faced in their firm and how to solve it. Today, we have Cindy Moore of CMoore LLC on the show. Thanks for joining me, Cindy, and I love the name of your company.
It's real original. Thanks for having me, Blake. I'm happy to be here to expound on all of my issues.
So 2 questions to start. Where are you located? What's your firm like? And then tell me a bit about your tech stack that you use in your firm.
Okay, I'm located in Indianapolis, Indiana, right in the middle of the heartland. And my firm consists of one very hardworking individual, and that would be me. And I do some bookkeeping, accounting, and consulting support for small to medium-sized firms. And I'm all over the map as far as who I support.
And what kind of tools are you using in your practice? Are you cloud-based? Are you desktop? Are you a mix?
I currently am favoring Relay, of course, because it's easy to use and it integrates seamlessly with my QBO file, which is great. I like Divvy, another online credit card app that integrates seamlessly. And to solve most of my documentation issues, I'm using Dext. I still kind of call it Receipt Bank because I've been using it for a long time, but it's great for receipt capture. And then to solve my biggest issue with what I call non-compliant data, I'm using Sassan.
Sassan, that's a new one to me. Tell me more about Sassan.
Sassan allows you to use spreadsheets to integrate your data directly into QuickBooks Online via a mapping process where you map the QuickBooks field attributes to data headers in your spreadsheet.
I take it you work with a lot of dental clinics, is that right?
I have medical and dental clinics, yes. And the problem with any patient-based accounting system is that it has to be HIPAA compliant, and QuickBooks Online is not HIPAA compliant. And so you have to get that data from the billing software into the QuickBooks without violating the HIPAA protocol.
I know that HIPAA is a big beast of a rule, a law. Can you explain to those who aren't familiar, like what the essentials are from an accountant or a bookkeeper perspective? Like, what do we have to do?
We cannot provide any patient identifying information. So you can't use social security numbers, you can't use their insurance billing information, you can't use their name, anything that would identify a patient, because it's for the Health Information Portability and Protection Act.
Okay, so you're saying that I can't have a customer name in QuickBooks if it's a patient?
That's correct.
And I can't write a check if I have to give somebody a refund. I can't have their name in QuickBooks. Like, how do you do accounting if you can't have the client names in the system?
Well, you have your detail information in your billing software. So your billing software is what pushes all the information to the insurance companies for reimbursement and allows you to track any write-offs that you've got based on whatever the insurance company decides that the provider is going to get paid for the service, plus whatever co-pays. So all of your detail is in your billing software.
So walk me through then your process for actually entering this stuff into QuickBooks. Like how do you do it? Because obviously then the people working in the practice aren't putting patient information into QuickBooks. So how do you get it from this practice management solution they're using into QuickBooks so you can do their financials?
So we've got a sheet that shows the batch totals for the day. And as you can see, we've got our credit card processing information. We've got some handwritten information that is totaling up what they've received. We have a daily total, which is what I will tie to when I enter the data. And then we have each individual insurance reimbursement. And this would be the daily check deposits. This particular example I'm using is a very small sample. Normally, there could be as many as 35 separate transactions that were processed in a day. And these insurance reimbursements could be several patients. So
Gotcha.
the information here is a summary. And the reason that I have to put each of these in individually is that there isn't any rhyme or reason as to how the bank download and this information is going to tie. These particular ones will come in individually, but other insurance companies may batch several ACH batches into one deposit.
So how do you deal with that?
Well, what I do is I use Sassan and I will bring in the information using a spreadsheet. Sassan provides me with a number of templates that I can use. And what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've modified a template to just give me the fields that I need. And because my deposit to account and my income account are going to be the same, I just copy that information down. And now I have just 3 fields that I have to type in. So once I've done this, I go ahead and use those day sheets, and there'll be a whole stack of them. And I fill out the spreadsheet. I add a column to give me my ticking and tying so that I know that my daily totals are matching what's on my spreadsheet or on my daily sheet. And then I'm ready to bring that into Sassan. When I'm ready to go to Sassan, I'm saving this spreadsheet and I'm logging into Sassan. I'm picking my company file. That company file has a direct link to the Sassan, between Sassan and the data file. And that will let Sassan have the most updated list entries. So the chart of accounts is most up to date. If you were doing something other than deposits, say entering bills or journal entries, it would have all those vendor information and cost centers and everything that you would need. Once I pick the company file that I want to use, I'm ready to upload the data file. I pick my data file. If there are multiple sheets, I can also pick which sheet of the data file I want. And Sassan does a quick review to make sure that the data is in a readable format. Once it's done that, I'm ready to map my fields. And my deposit to account is the biggest one because I want to make sure I get that to the right place. And in the spreadsheet that I had earlier, my deposit to account actually said undeposited funds. And that only works on a make payments window. But Sassan allows me to override that data and input the correct bank account. Again, using the most up-to-date chart of accounts. And it gives me a drop-down to choose that. Once I've mapped my accounts, I'm ready to review my mapping. It gives me a screenshot of what the deposit screen in QBO would look like, and I can double check to make sure that I've mapped in the right places. You'll notice here that I've mapped my line description to the memo field. This is because I have a custom report for my client in QuickBooks Online that is filtered to show only uncleared bank transactions. And this field will show up and allow me to sort that report by memo so that when I do have a situation where the deposit amount might consist of 2 or 3 or more line entries, I can choose those line entries. It also comes in handy because with a lot of insurance companies, the reimbursement may be a consistent amount across multiple insurance companies. So you may see a dollar amount that could have come from 2 or 3 different insurance companies. And this allows me to isolate those and choose my matching in the QuickBooks downline or QuickBooks bank feeds more accurately.
And so I take it that once you do push this into QuickBooks, it ties to the bank feed and you're able to reconcile very simply.
Correct. And one of the cool things about Sassan is it gives you a preview and lets you know, hey, you've got some errors. And it also indicates any fields that have errors in them in red. The really cool part about it is it prevents you from doing something stupid like I've done in the past, where I have extra lines that don't have any data in the date or amount fields, but I've got something in that line, or I've got something in the deposit to account or the income account, and Sassan wants to feed that data, and it says there's no data there to feed. So I can delete those lines on this screen or do any editing that I need to do before I do that push and upload.
Got it. So it gives you not only a preview of what the transaction will look like in QuickBooks, but it lets you clean up the data that you have imported before you push it in.
Once you've pushed that data, and again, it tells you if you've got any errors, just in case there's something it didn't catch before. Maybe you've deposited it to the wrong bank account. You can undo this. It pulls all the data back and allows you to remap the field you want. So now you have your escape clause, so to speak.
I have used something similar to this in years past, but it didn't have that ability to undo. And I one time I pushed the wrong set of deposits into the wrong company file. And I had to go clean them all up.
Yep. And it really, really works because I really, really did it. Once I've got the data into QuickBooks, I can then, I can see now that my deposits are going to match off. You can see here that I've got some descriptions, the Delta. So that would be my DD, my Delta Dental. Here's my MetLife. You can see I've got more than one line entry that could possibly match. That's where my customized report comes in handy, because now I can see which insurance company and which date and dollar amount is there. So this is what my report would look like. I'm able to sort it by that memo field, and that's why that memo field was so important to me. I'm also able to pick dollar amounts that could potentially match a downloaded transaction. So for example, we can see we have this Metropolitan Life for $366.20 on the 12th. I'm able to go back into my report, pick two deposits, and those are my, I guess, for lack of a better term, my best candidates for matching because of the date and the dollar amount. Match those off. When I'm through matching, this report will auto-generate itself to show me what's left that hasn't matched off. This gives me an opportunity to say, to go back to the client and say, hey, we've got some deposits that haven't been deposited to the bank. Did somebody forget to go? Did it get left in the car? Or potentially I can see on my bank downloads that we've got an ACH that wasn't caught by the office staff, and perhaps they need to update a customer report with that payment that was received. And again, you've got multiple ways that you can use Sassan. You can use it for sales receipts, purchase orders, and other options.
We're all better off when we share knowledge, and that is a big reason why we started this series. And so thank you so much for coming on and sharing this tip. I think it'll help a lot of people who work with medical practices, but I could see this being very valuable for anyone where it's difficult to get the data from a point of sale type system or a practice management system into QuickBooks.
Yeah, and deposits isn't the only thing you can push through with Sassan. You can push sales receipts, journal entries if you've got a monthly allocation journal entry that you need to do, or payroll job costing. that you need to push through. It's great. I love it.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with us, like especially, how people can get in touch with you, connect with you?
Yeah, I've got my website, www.cidmoore.com. And I'm on Facebook, Indie Pro Advisor. And I'm on LinkedIn, but not much. So, and I'm on the Find a Pro Advisor website.
Well, thanks so much, Cindy. And we'll hope to have you back soon.
All right, thanks.